Hi, I'm Pia. I'm leading the marketing at VEVE as the CMO and at the parent company Affinity. And I have the pleasure of speaking with you today, Bono. Can you give us a brief introduction of yourself and who are you?
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Pia. So very excited to be here. Let me quickly introduce myself. So my name is Bono. I'm from Xiaomi IB team, which is international internet business team, and I'm the head of channel partnerships for agency informatics. So that means that all of the external partners, such as VEVE and agency partner across the globe, will be managed on my team. So thanks.
And in your role, you have a fascinating oversight over an industry that is in a very interesting state. So the OEM advertising industry is dynamic. It's changing, evolving constantly. So what are 3 trends that you see emerging or that you expect to have a big impact moving forward?
Yeah, good question. So I think it's like I guess that everybody have noticed that starting from this year 2024, we have seen this like emergence anti-monopoly like trends going across the digital advertisement space, right? So starting from the fact that like European market, especially the governments, they have executed an anti-competitive practice over Apple, right? So I guess that's a good sign to say that this alternative app store, the different options has been kind of like the focus, one of the biggest focus I think started from this year. And with that being said, is like we do also notice that the different advertisers, they're looking for new channel, right? Especially for on the advertisement space, right? They're looking for something else more than just Google, Meta, or like affiliates, right? They're looking for something new that can take them to the next growth, right? So that's the second thing I think that'll be a new trend. And third things I think will be something quite interesting will be that they are actually looking for new touch points. Right, the touch points to like better engage with the customer, engage with the advertisers, and I guess that including a lot of different things that OEM has not been able to done before, and now we can. So I guess that these 3 things will be quite exciting for the digital advertisement space.
And building on that, so traditionally, historically, brands have relied on search engines and on social media platforms quite a bit to engage with users, following a journey that involves the user, the device, third-party apps, and finally the brand. And now we're witnessing a shift towards brands directly reaching users through their smart devices, potentially altering the advertising landscape as a whole. And how do you perceive this shift, and how is it benefiting and impacting their strategies?
Yeah, I guess it is like very exciting for advertisers working with OEM directly, right? The brands working with us directly. It's because that when you look at the smartphone, the devices, that's like that will be the extensions of your body, right? That means that all of the action that's happening every day, and that will be like something that we're using every day, right? And then just thinking about all of the data points that's been collected with all of the devices, right? Just thinking about how much of the golden like mine that can be to utilize for better retargeting, to better like engage with their customer, to understand the behavior and create the new touch points. I think data will be the strongest. I think the assets for OEM, right? That's the first thing. And second thing is that the benefit I think for the brands is that nowadays you see the OEM, you see the smartphone. It's more than just the devices. That's a marketing tool, right? So we have developed a lot of customizations for the promotions to cater to the brand's needs, right? Like nowadays, you've been able to leverage the push notifications, -1 screen, and a lot of different things that will be as a tool, as the customizations to better leverage, engage with your customer. And the third thing is that ecosystem, right? Because I think that for an OEM right now, we're trying to create this. When the advertiser what they're doing campaign or doing promotion with OEM, right? So they're thinking about ROI all the time. So when you're thinking about ROI, that would be OEM create this closed loop ecosystems, and we do use the App Store as a center of distributions, right? We have different solutions for IAA and IAP titles of different brands, right? So how you can leverage those tools to make sure that you maximize your ROI, right? To better what your metrics and stuff like that. I think that would be the value that we can provide to other brands to work with us directly.
And these are definitely big drivers for brands, and with a growing number of brands turning to OEM advertising for the reasons that you described, the role of strategic partners in facilitating the connections between brands and consumers, that has become crucial. So how do Xiaomi's core agency partners, such as VEVE, contribute to this ecosystem in your perspective?
Yeah, so I think this one will be quite interesting because I started from this year. I have been traveling to a lot of roadshows and workshops and a lot of focus countries such as like Europe, like India, right? So I'm meeting with all of the customers, all of the brands that we have. And then something that's quite interesting because we have noticed that people are growing their interest, just like I mentioned earlier, to the alternative options or App Store, right? So when you're thinking about like other bigger platforms, right, such as our peers, like those big players, they do have dedicated BD team coming from their platform to help with the advertisers, to help with the customers. Whereas when you look at Xiaomi or like our OEM, right, we have this like a missing piece for this puzzle, right? Nowadays we're still growing. We need people to help. We need our partner to do the job, to be the bridge between the platform Xiaomi and our customers. I think as our core agencies such as VEVE, I think they're doing just that, right? They're doing kind of like the platforms and the customer BD role to be the bridge and to do better communications, right? I think that's the first. And second thing is that the way we see our core agency will be, they are the centers, they are the local representative for us in different markets, right? We can be able to expand it to like cover all of the markets that we have, but then we have then with the help from them be able to like provide the service that we have, being the troubleshootings, and then the most importantly being the brand and the solution ambassador and evangelist for the solutions to better brand the thought leaderships for our solutions in different local market. And that's the way we see the values of working with our business partner.
How would you describe Xiaomi's IIB, your International Internet Business Department, and VEVE's ongoing partnership? Or how has this journey been so far, and how will you see this partnership growing in the future?
Yeah, sure. So I think that when we are working with our core agency, we focus on the fact that what value that our core agency partner can bring to the brands, to the customer, right? So I think that will be the focus that we're seeing. So when you talk about value, you will see that our core agency, the journey that we have been with VEVE is that I think one of the things that doing the most brilliant is that they actually have local support, right? So the way we see the deployment is that they have the sales center in different focus market that's providing like local support, local services, whereas at the same time is that they have the local support in China, right? So they've been able to like do all of the management of campaigns, right? To kind of like drive better performance. And I think that would be a good combination to have two different teams that goes across different regions that can better create a success for the customers. And also, I think moving forward, two platforms, the core agency and Xiaomi, there's a lot we can work together. It's just thinking about the integration that we have, right? The strength that two different platform has. We do know the fact that like VEVE has its forte is really strong in web solutions, like the brandings and the search, stuff like that. That will be the assets that VEVE has, right? And then for Xiaomi, what I'm looking for is that Xiaomi do have this like extensions of business, right? We are keep innovating. Now we have the SDK solutions, we have the payments, we have like a lot of different things, the content, right? So how we can kind of like put to do a better integrations in different platforms. I think that's like something that I'm put a lot of focus for the future's partnership.
And we're very excited about this future and to grow this together. Thank you so much, Bono.
Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to that too.